All right, Lily Ulloa here with Eddie Hearn.
I
Eddie.
like your hair.
Oh, thank you.
It's kind of like Nicki Minaj.
Oh, I wish.
Are you a Nicki Minaj fan?
I do like her flow.
Where do you get your inspiration from?
My hair,
Yeah.
more of a rockabilly style, but
Is
I
it?
I fuck with Nicki Minaj. I
you?
like her flow.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
she's cool.
Okay. Well, each to their own. Yeah.
But I do need to ask you something because you know Twitter is crazy. I don't know if you've looked at your phone yet, but people
No,
are
what's
going
happened?
crazy over one of your last tweets. You posted a graphic of your fight versus Chocolatito.
I know.
And there's a Mexican
I know,
flag.
I know.
Now, was that an honest mistake or
Of course it was.
what? Shit. I don't know. It's
Yeah, of
Texas.
course, I know.
It's Texas. Maybe you're like, I'm gonna just
basically-
pass Gonzalez
No,
as Mexican,
yeah,
and we're
no,
gonna
no.
bring the Mexican
No,
fans.
Can I just tell you that basically I'm not our graphic designer. Our graphic designer knows nothing about boxing. So what happened is that poster is originally you got Jesse Vargas and Mikey Garcia. So one side is American, one side is Mexican. So what he's done is he's put Yafai in, put a British flag in, and presumed that Gonzalez
Yes.
is Mexican. Do you know how many people tweeted me going or messaged me going, oh, do you know that Gonzalez is not Mexican? I go, yes, I know. I'm sorry. Like I corrected it on my Instagram.
And your
but I
five
haven't-
posted the right one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So I apologise to the Nicaraguan and
Yeah.
Mexican fans.
People were thinking that you were
But-
just trying to like sell the fight and be
No,
like,
no,
oh, he's
no.
selling
But
the
what I will
fight in
say
Texas
is
for Mexicans.
Mexican fans do love Chocolatito, but we all know he's Nicaraguan.
Of course. Okay, just to clear that
unfortunately,
up.
our graphic designer does not know that he's Nicaraguan.
All right, so that's actually the fight that I'm actually looking forward to the most in this card, and we know we have Estrada.
He
Kind
is
of there
Mexican.
in the silent.
He
Who
is
is Mexican?
Yeah.
He's in the
I
silence
think I'm
right there.
gonna post a picture of Estrada with a Nicaraguan flag, just to fuck
Just
with people.
troll the internet.
Yeah.
All right. We got some trolling going on,
So
but
I think the winner of this fight is a natural fight for Estrada. You know, it'll be a big unification fight, and I'm excited for Yafai Chocolatito. You know, it's a great fight.
many people think Chocolatito's kind of jumping in to
Well,
a world
but
title.
He can't do anything but that. You know, he's done everything in the sport. He just had a comeback fight, warm-up fight. Like he don't, you know, he's at that age now where he wants to see if he's still got it. He's only 70 or 80% of the fighter he was, but that's probably still enough to beat everybody. You know, and I was joking with Cal Yafai yesterday, saying you're lucky this wasn't 5 years ago because that guy was, you know, he's still brilliant, but he was unbeatable once upon a time. You know, and yeah, and now but even then, you know, he boxed Rungvisai. He was starting to get old in the knee and, you know, the injuries, and we'll see what he's got left on Saturday.
Now we finally got Usyk back. You know, he's getting some injuries. Now looking at the landscapes with the heavyweights, the last matchup with Fury and Wilder, how stupendous that was. Do you think Usyk has a chance against
Well, I
this
think,
talented
you know, I mean,
ass?
he's going to fight Chisora,
heavyweight?
so that's a
Yeah.
great fight to find out what he's got at heavyweight. Dangerous fight. You know, Chisora is big, strong, he's got a great chin, but Usyk is technically very good, great footwork. Does he carry the power at the heavyweight division? Does he have the chin to stand up to the big boys? We're going to find out against Eric Chisora.
At least this is the main event, so you won't be getting no crap from him on this
Yes,
one. I just
exactly.
saw a main
Yeah,
event.
yeah.
He's got
Definitely
what
a
he
main
wanted.
event. Definitely a main event.
Now, my sources tell me that Prince Khalid wanted Manny Pacquiao to fight Mikey in the zone, Saudi Arabia, but that, you know, of course, PBC is pushing Mikey to fight Garcia next, Danny. Is there any truth to that?
Well, PBC don't have Mikey Garcia. We do, and we have an option on him for the next fight, which we'll be exercising. But he's got to beat Jesse Vargas. You know, everyone seems to be looking past Jesse Vargas. I think it's going to be a really tough fight. So we'll see. You know, for me, we'll be doing an event in July in Saudi Arabia. We'd like that to be with Manny Pacquiao. And if Mikey Garcia is triumphant on Saturday, I'd like it to be Pacquiao against Garcia in Saudi.
Now, how does that work? Would you just talk to Mikey alone because he is like basically a free agent, even though he has a next fight with you guys, or would you have to talk to his advisor at all?
No, he doesn't have an advisor. He's not with Al Heyman. He has no advisory deal with anyone. He's his own boss, which is a good thing and a bad thing. You know, for us, he just likes to do fight-by-fight deals. But we have a right to stage his next fight as well, which we'll be looking to do. So, at the end of the day, Mikey's going to do what's right for Mikey. You know, I think he's enjoyed himself with us. But again, you know, anything could happen. He could lose on Saturday, or he could look really bad and win, and maybe he wouldn't have the value that he might have, or he could look sensational and his value could go through the roof. But you know, Mikey always backs himself. He doesn't want to do long-term deals because he thinks he's going to look so good that you're going to pay him a load more for the next fight. I like that. I like people who back themselves. So we'll see what happens on Saturday.
Should he not rise victorious on Saturday, do you think he should go back down to 140?
Look,
And you got people at
he shouldn't
142.
He shouldn't be at 47, but people tell him he shouldn't be at 47. And he's really stubborn. And he's like, no, I'll show you I can fight at 47. And Jesse Vargas is going to have a big height and size advantage in the ring on Saturday. But if he can beat Jesse Vargas, you've got to think that really he should be legitimised for a world championship shot at 47 and to try and become a 5-weight world champ. But really I feel like his best weight is 40. You've got the winner of this fight, Prograis hooker. You've got Devin Haney, wants to fight Mikey Garcia as well. And Mikey will fight anyone. He don't care. He just wants to be in great fights.
Now, should Vargas defeat Garcia on Saturday, is there any concern now of him as a welterweight that, again, PBC holds most of the welterweight stable, that you won't be able to get him any more fights? Because you got him, Mikey, coming in.
He wanted to move to 54, but this fight come up at 47, and I promised I'd deliver Jesse Vargas a big fight, and it's a massive opportunity for him. Big money, big profile, but he would be happy to go at 54. But victory on Saturday would give him that profile to go, I have no problem with our guys, getting them an opportunity to fight on Fox if we can't get it on DAZN. You see with Demetrius Andrade at the moment, if Charlo wants to fight him, we'll do it on Fox. It doesn't, it's fine with us. Because if we can't deliver the big fights for them on DAZN, then we've got to help them get the big fights somewhere. So, I'm happy for Jesse to look at opportunities at 47, 54. He was one of the first guys that moved and left the PBC to sign with us when we launched DAZN. So I've got a little soft spot for him. And, I really think he's got a great chance on Saturday. He's really pumped for this fight.
Does that also apply to maybe if Fury fights Joshua? Would you guys be willing to go to ESPN's side?
Yeah, but there's a way to work it out. ESPN and Fox just worked it out. The only thing that's different with DAZN and ESPN is, on the pay-per-view side, how does that work with DAZN? They can work it out. They're clever people. The most important thing is trying to get the fights made.
Now let's jump onto another subject. Lastly, I'm gonna keep this short for you. I've been watching the whole YouTuber, the whole boxing, they're trying to merge the fans. But from what I see from the fight fans, they'd rather have their own cards. And then from what I see from the YouTube, they want to have their own cards too. Like they say, okay, why don't we just have a Soul Night on DAZN for those YouTuber fights or entertaining fights for those that demographic? Is that something you're willing to do next, or maybe one-on-one?
I think there's an argument for that. What I was trying to do is I don't want to promote white-collar boxing. So I wanted to say to these guys, if you want to do it seriously, you've got to turn pro, you've got to live the life, you've got to do proper camps. The problem is some of them aren't good enough. KSI Logan Paul, we kind of got away with it. I felt like it was a decent fight. The energy was unbelievable at Staples Center. Then the Gibb fight the other week, done great numbers, but it was a first-round knockout. He wasn't great. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people are saying, well, why don't you just do a YouTube night, like you say, or just... So, but the problem is as well, like 10 times as many people watched Demetrius and Tevin Farmer card because that fight was on the undercard. So that's the benefit that I'm trying to bring to boxing and those particular fighters, is letting them fight in front of a bigger audience. All the people that say, yeah, but those people, they don't stay in boxing, but they have. We've seen it from the stats. Not everybody stays. Some unsubscribe. But it doesn't matter if 10% stay. It's great for DAZN. It's great for the fan base of the sport. So I understand both sides of the argument. I'm not sure you're not going to see. You're only going to see probably one more YouTube fight this year anyway, and we're already up to our schedule for May, and there's none planned. So you're not going to see many. But unfortunately, the broadcasters are seeing the numbers are so big that they want me to do more and more. But we just got to decide whether we incorporate that into a fight night or we do our own YouTube. Problem is, when you do your own YouTube card, a lot of it's going to be shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not that many good YouTube fighters. So you get other fighters saying, oh, it's ridiculous that this is on the card. It's a 6-round fight. Yeah?
It's not going to last.
No, and how many times have you seen 6-round fights with a great prospect and a terrible journeyman that's a waste of time anyway? So it just...
At least both them the same tier.
It helps drive tickets. It helps more people tune in to watch, which in turn puts more eyeballs on the other fighters on the card, hopefully builds their fan bases as well, and it gives us a chance to bring in a new audience to the sport. Good arguments for both. We'll see what happens.
Lastly,
ultimately, what we'll do is we will consider all the arguments, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do.
You decide.
Yeah.
Lastly, I can't let you go without asking about Canelo. Yeah. Is there any frustration with him not picking the guys you want, maybe Triple G? Because, of course, everybody wants the trilogy. People could argue that there's better opponents, but those were 24 rounds of pure action, and we want more. Andre, obviously, he wants to stay at 168. Maybe Caleb Smith, since he already defeated his brother at a lower weight class. Is there any frustration from you guys? Like, okay, pick one of our guys, or just pick anybody.
I think they will pick one of our guys. I mean, the 4 guys that he could fight is Andrade, Golovkin, Callum Smith, and Billy Joe Saunders that are all with us. So he will pick one of those, and he'll pick one of Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders, in my opinion. We should find out any day which one it will be, and then hopefully, if he's victorious, hopefully he's not victorious, but if he is, then he fights Gennady Golovkin in September. That's a fight that must happen. It's the biggest fight out there in the division, and DAZN want that fight, and they need that fight because they need the biggest fights out there, and that's right up there.
Is Canelo being petty to Triple G? Like, I don't want to give you another payday.
Maybe. I mean, I think that ultimately when DAZN did the deal with both guys, it was agreed with Golden Boy that was a fight that they would make. So why not make it? That's the frustrating thing. So I think they're nearly there, and hopefully they can work it all out.
All right, thank you so much, Eddie, for your time. Always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.